it's Corey, and today you're gonna learn how to play Yesterday by the Beatles. This version of the song is easier than the original. We did change the key to make the chords a little bit more accessible. However, there is a partial barred chord with the B flat major, but other than that, all the chords are really beginner friendly. In addition, we're also using a picking pattern for this song, but I've arranged it so it's pretty easy. So if you're a beginner player and you'd like to try your hand at picking, this is the song for you. So let's just jump into it. The first chord we have is the A7 chord, and that's just your first finger placed on the 3rd string, 1st fret. Next, we have that B flat major chord. So you're gonna take your first finger, bar on strings 1 and 2, then you're gonna take your 3rd finger, place it on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret, and then your 4th finger is going on the 4th string of the 3rd fret. Make sure to keep your thumb placed firmly behind fret 1 to help with the barring on strings 1 and 2. Next up, we have a C major chord, and that's another 1 finger chord, which is your 3rd finger, placing it on the 3rd fret, 1st string. We also use a C7 chord, which is your 1st finger played on the 1st fret of the 1st string. Next is the D minor chord, and that's going to be your 1st finger first placed on the 2nd string of the 1st fret. Then your 2nd finger is going to go on the 2nd fret for 4th string, and then your 3rd finger is going to go on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Next is the E minor chord. You're going to start with your 1st finger placed on string 1, fret 2. Then your 2nd finger is going to go on fret 3, string 2. And then your 3rd finger is going on fret 4, string 3. We then have the F major chord. That's your 1st finger placed on the 2nd string of the 1st fret. Your 2nd finger then goes on the 4th string of the 2nd fret. We then have a G7 chord, and that's going to be first with your 1st finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Then your 2nd finger is going to go on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your 3rd finger is going to go on the 2nd fret, 1st string. And lastly, we have the G minor chord. To start, you're putting your 1st finger on the 1st string, 1st fret. Your 2nd finger is going on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger is going on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. You're going to want to be really comfortable with all of those chords because throughout this song, you're going to be changing chords very quickly. With our picking pattern, for most of the chords, except for the F chord, you're going to be changing chords every full picking pattern. Now, there are a lot of really easy transitions in this song that if you're really thinking about finger placement and you have your fingers in the right place, it's going to make those transitions a lot easier for you. For instance, if you're moving from the A7, all you have to do is move your finger over 1 and place your other 2 fingers down to get to the D minor. So that transition, A7 to then D minor, is a lot easier than you think. And the same is true when it comes to the D minor moving to the G7. So we have D minor, and then use your 1st finger as an anchor point when you're moving to your G7. This is also true in the bridge section when we move from our G minor chord to our C7 chord. All I have to do is lift up my fingers 2 and 3 and I'm already in my C7. So it's another example of really mapping out and looking at your transitions and how that can really help you when playing the song. Once you're super comfortable with all those chords, you can play them without having to look directly at the chord chart. Then it's time to start looking at the picking pattern we're going to use. This picking pattern is really simple. You're going to not have to worry about the 4th string at all. What the picking pattern is with your thumb, you're going to be picking on the 3rd string, and then with fingers 1 and 2 at the same time, you're going to pick on strings 1 and 2. The pattern will be thumb, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Up to tempo, it sounds like this, and I'm not playing any chords with my left hand at the moment, just listen to the picking. So again, just string-wise, it's 3, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Played on an F chord, which is what we start with the intro, it would be. A lot of people ask me if I'm not picking at all on the 4th string, do I really have to make all the chords played using that 4th string? And the answer is yes. Period. Just do it. I know it might seem easier to be able to omit when making chords using the 4th string because you're not going to end up playing it for this song. However, if you accidentally pluck at all on the 4th string, if you're not having your fingers in the correct position, there's a good chance that the G, which would be that open string, is not in the chord. So just do all of the regular chord fingering with your left hand. It's good practice, but it's also just really good to have it in that position in case you pick the wrong string. Once you have that third string and then 1 and 2, plucked with fingers 1 and 2. Once you have that kind of down where you can do it without doing any chords, it's time to start playing some chords over it. In general, with this song, when you play the F chord, you're going to be doing 2 full rotations through that picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you move to the next chord. Almost all the other chords in the song are going to be just played on one of the full picking pattern of the 1, 2, 3, 4. The only time that this is going to change is when you get to the bridge and you're playing your D minor to the C major chord. In that case, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. So notice I changed chords in the middle of the pattern there. Instead, it's a 1 on string 3, and then I go 2 on 2 and 1. Then I go back to 3, and then go back to 2 and 1. So the whole thing is 1, 2, 3, 4. Practice that in isolation before trying to do it with the song, because the entire phrase really feels like it's moving quickly. This is what that entire bridge section does sound like. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. And then that repeats for the second line of the bridge. You're going to be coming back to that a few times in this song because after verse 3, you go back to the bridge. Grab your metronome, set it at a slow tempo. I recommend about 80 beats per minute, and then practice it like that first. When you're ready and you can play it at that slower tempo, then increase it by maybe 20 up and then practice it again up until you can get anywhere between 110 and 120 beats per minute. In general, the bridge is the hardest part of the song in my opinion, but once you have it solid, then the rest of the song is going to feel like a piece of cake. So when you have your verse sections, like I said, for each chord that you see in the song sheet or in the play along, you're going to be doing the picking pattern of one time and then changing chords unless the chord you're playing is the F. The only thing that will change here is at the end of each of the bridges, you are going to have a little bit of strumming. So in the verse section in verse 1, the part that we're going to be changing to a strum is going to be over "Oh, I Believe in Yesterday." In this situation, it's going to be a B flat and then to F. So again, on the B flat, you strum once, and then your F major, you go 1, 2 strums. With the words, it sounds like this. Oh, I believe in yesterday. You're gonna do this at the end of each of the verse sections and at the outro as well. For the outro, you're repeating those same chords, but it'll be a little slower and you're gonna gradually slow down. So it will sound like this all together. So let's just give this a play along so you can see what it all sounds like put together. 1, 2, here we go in. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know, she wouldn't say. I said something said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed this arrangement and tutorial for Yesterday by the Beatles. If you are a fan of the Beatles tunes and you're looking for other Beatle tunes that have been arranged in an easy way for ukulele, make sure to check out my Beatles playlist, and I'll have it linked in the cards as well. And I have all of my Beatles song sheets on my Patreon, and you can find all that stuff in the link and in my description box. If you have other tunes you'd love to see made into a tutorial or a play along, make sure to comment down below and then also like this video. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! There's a shadow